Welcome to This Week in Taiwan. I'm Iris Xu. Every Saturday, we break down the biggest stories making headlines across the country. From politics and policy to culture and the unexpected. Whether you are tuning in from Taipei or halfway around the world, we've got you covered with what you need to know to stay in the loop. Taiwan is home to 23 million people, and you might think what happens on this small island doesn't affect you. But in reality, it is quite the contrary. From geopolitics to global supply chains, Taiwan is more connected to your life than you might expect. So let's get into this week's news and see just how interconnected we really are. A wave of anti-China protests sweeps Seoul ahead of Chinese President Xi Jinping's visit, prompting Taiwanese tourists to wear nationality badges to avoid being affected. Xi and other world leaders will be in South Korea for the 32nd APEC Economic Leaders Meeting in Gyeongju from October 31st to November 1st. Taiwanese tour guide Lin Yongbin estimates that about 1 in 20 people in his groups wear a badge or other sign saying that if they are mistaken for Chinese and harassed, they can show their nationality. Lin also advises that Taiwanese tourists avoid speaking Chinese near anti-China protests. Ahead of this event, the South Korean government and the law enforcement authorities are working to curb anti-China protests, which have become a sensitive subject for South Korean President Lee Jae-myung. According to local media, Lee condemned the anti-China protests, calling them self-destructive acts that harm the nation's interests and image. His Democratic Party introduced a bill in the National Assembly recently to ban gatherings that incite hatred or discrimination, but it faces opposition from conservative factions who fear the bill will be used to stifle dissenting views. How to quell potentially embarrassing protests without being seen as overtly repressive will be a major challenge for Lee. The Chinese embassy in Seoul warned Chinese tourists to exercise extreme caution when traveling to South Korea this month due to the demonstrations, but also stressed that most South Koreans welcome Chinese tourists. Taiwan's Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, or APEC, envoy says he hopes to highlight the nation's strength in semiconductors, AI, and smart healthcare, promoting Taiwan, attracting investment, and boosting exchanges. The 2025 APEC Economic Leaders Meeting will be held in Gyeongju, South Korea. President Lai appointed presidential advisor Lin Hsin-i as Taiwan's representative. Lin departed for South Korea on Tuesday, delivering remarks before boarding his flight. Lin said that APEC serves as an important multilateral economic platform where Taiwan can interact with other member economies on an equal footing. He emphasized that attending the Leaders Summit is a rare opportunity for Taiwan to engage in high-level economic discussions amid a rapidly changing global environment. He noted that Taiwan's long-cultivated advantages and expertise allow it to make meaningful contributions at the meeting, particularly in advancing shared APEC goals of balance, sustainability, and innovation. Lin said he will carry out President Lai's mission by engaging with fellow leaders and business representatives to strengthen economic resilience, share Taiwan's experience in pioneering industries such as semiconductors, and promote people-centered AI development.
I
hope to share Taiwan's story, explain the features and strengths of each of our industries, especially semiconductors, AI, smart healthcare, and small and medium enterprises, and above all, to promote Taiwan, attract investment, encourage exchange, and further enhance our position in APEC. He added that with this year's meeting taking place on the opposite side of the Pacific from last year's, cooperation among member economies can transcend distance and overcome challenges. Foreign Minister Lin Chia-lung stressed that at the 2025 Taiwan-Europe Submarine Cable Security Cooperation Forum, that only through joint efforts can we safeguard these vital lifelines that connect nations, economies, and people. The Formosa Club, a group of pro-Taiwan European parliamentarians, held its second annual meeting on Tuesday, jointly organizing the forum with the Foreign Ministry and the Research Institute for Democracy, Society, and Emerging Technology, or DSET. Speaking at the event, Lin announced the launch of the RISK, or Risk Mitigation, Information Sharing, Systemic Reform, and Knowledge Building Management Initiative on international undersea cables. The initiative seeks to rally all global stakeholders involved in subsea cables to work together to strengthen resilience and security. Lin underscored that the undersea cables are not only the foundation of email streaming and financial transactions, but also underpin global financial markets, supply chains, and critical energy systems. These networks, he said, form the backbone of globalization, enabling the movement of trade, data, communication, and international cooperation.
This unique position gives Taiwan not only strategic importance, but also a responsibility to help safeguard connectivity. Security across the Taiwan Strait is an essential public good, and Taiwan will do its part to maintain it.
He detailed the 4 goals of the initiative: risk mitigation to prevent and reduce threats, information sharing for timely and actionable intelligence, systemic reform to establish internationally recognized standards, and knowledge building through training and exchange programs. Lin added that both Europe and Taiwan face similar threats to undersea cables and urged all partners to join this inclusive initiative. Taiwan has also proposed a set of 7 cable laws to strengthen its legal framework for protecting critical infrastructure. Nvidia's Taiwan headquarters will be located at the T17 and T18 plots in Taipei's Beidou Lin Science Park, Mayor Chiang Wan-an confirmed on Wednesday. Nvidia has clearly stated that their overseas headquarters will be located at T17 and T18 in Beidou Lin Science Park, so they have asked us to publicly disclose this information. Jiang added that the city government will begin administrative procedures to facilitate the tech giant's swift relocation to Taipei. The announcement follows a deal made on October 22nd in which Xinguang Life Insurance agreed to terminate its lease at T17 and T18, clearing the way for Nvidia's move. Jiang said the meeting with Nvidia reached 3 key conclusions: confirmation that their Taiwan headquarters will be at T17 and T18, that the company hopes the city can finalize the lease termination with Xinguang Life promptly, and that Taipei will accelerate administrative procedures to allow the headquarters to move in as quickly as possible. KMT City Councilor Yang Zhido expressed concern that Xinguang Life could gain leverage in future negotiations with the city government and questioned why other potential sites, including T12, were not chosen instead. Nvidia's original preferred location was the T17 and T18 plots prior to Xinguang Life's acquisition of the site in 2021. Jiang emphasized that Nvidia's firm in its decision, which was made based on the T17 and T18 location, and Xinguang Life's agreement to terminate the lease.
Vice President Hsiao Bi-khim compared Taiwan to a cat in a recent interview with German broadcaster ARD, drawing on her well-known cat lover image and Taiwan's fighting cat. She explained that the metaphor reflects the warmth and spirit of the Taiwanese people, saying that cats are warm and comforting. Hsiao added that the fighting cat captures flexibility and resilience needed for Taiwan to survive and thrive amid challenges in the international community. Hsiao said that much like a cat, Taiwan will defend itself when pushed into a corner, while continuing to extend friendship to those who treat it kindly. She called on the international community to support Taiwan, speak up for it in international media, and visit the island to better understand its democratic values and society. During her meeting with European lawmakers, Xiao warmly welcomed attendees, saying she represented the people and government of Taiwan in expressing the most heartfelt and enthusiastic welcome to all parliament members. Among the dignitaries was Richard Coles, chair of the European Formosa Club's annual meeting and a member of the European Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee. The previous day at the Formosa Club event, Coles presented Foreign Minister Chia-lung with a specially designed t-shirt printed with the phrase, "Taiwan is not the question, Taiwan is the answer," symbolizing strong European support for Taiwan. This year marked the first time the Formosan Club held its annual meeting in Taiwan, with 45 lawmakers from European Parliament and 18 countries visiting. The European Parliament, as the only directly elected body within the EU, works with the Council of the European Union to decide most EU laws and budgets given its significant influence in international affairs. In 2021, it also passed the EU-Taiwan Political Relations and Cooperation Report, a milestone that reflected the EU's firm support for democratic Taiwan. The gathering reaffirmed the European Union's long-term backing of Taiwan and its efforts to strengthen diplomatic recognition amid rising global challenges. Filaskowski for RTI News.
A pig farm in Taichung City recently tested positive for African swine fever, triggering a wave of public concern over food safety. Central African Swine Fever Forward Response Center Commander and Deputy Agriculture Minister Tu Wen-zhen states that recent monitoring and visits indicate no other outbreaks in Taiwan. She assures the public that the disease is not zoonotic and there are no known food safety issues. Among the many pork recipes in Taiwan, braised pork rice, or lu rou fan, attracts countless foreign tourists in addition to being a loved local favorite. Musical artist Waverlab even produced a song named after the dish. He raps that he's been eating it since childhood, he's never been afraid of it, and it's just that exaggerated. The quality of Taiwanese pork is crucial to the country's pride. Taipei Veterinary Medical Association Vice President Yang Jingyu details that farmers have blended Yorkshire, Duroc, and other breeds with traditional Taiwanese pigs to achieve the pork everyone loves today. Yang says that Taiwanese pork boasts excellent quality, both domestically and internationally. Agricultural technology has significantly contributed to the popularity of Taiwanese pork and the safety of its production, so make sure you pig out on a pork dish for your next meal. Michelle Chang for RTI News.
And that's This Week in Taiwan. My name is Iris Xu. Thank you for listening. Until next time.